All right, some of us are finishing our tests, so make sure you prioritize that. I don't want you to be on phones or watches, you know what I'm saying? Put that away. Tell them bye-bye. All right, I want phones put away. Okay, so make sure you're knocking it out because it should take one day, right? Algebraic reasoning. What does it say? You cross that out, put algebraic reasoning. So make sure you're knocking it out today. All right, on our warm-up, again, it tells you what to do. So we're trying to find f of 2. That's how you say it, f of 2, which means you replace x with a number 2. Now, notice, we have f of x. What does f of x really mean? What letter is f of x? What letter? What variable? No. F of x is y, okay? Don't we usually write y equals? So why do we write f of x? Here's why. It's a function of x where you can replace x with some number. So when we say f of 2, that means, hey, replace x with 2. That's all it means. So I'm going to rewrite this. X will become 2 in parentheses squared plus 4, and then x is going to be in parentheses 2 plus 7. Now, TBH, you can just type that in your calculator in one step, get your answer, okay? And that's fine with me. So you could do what? Parentheses 2 squared plus 4 parentheses 2 plus 7. Was that what it is? Okay, type it in one step, boom. Answer is 19. So that means f of 2 equals 19. Now, if you want to, you can do it bit by bit. 2 squared is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, add them up, plus 7. You can do it part by part, but I'm just telling you, you can replace it, plug it in, get your answer, right? So, that's it for that warm-up. Okay, so we are starting 5.1. Friday, we did a test. Some of us are still finishing. Make sure you finish today. Focus on that. But we did exponents in Unit 4. That way we can do polynomials in Unit 5. Because polynomials have exponents in them. Okay? So don't forget Unit 4. Today we're starting Unit 5. And since we're about to do notes, I'm going to pass them out, and you know what I'm going to ask you to do. I would like for you to not have headphones in your ears. If you're testing, I don't mind, but for the rest of us, and there's one for over here, just so you have it, okay? But yeah, so as we go through this, make sure you don't have anything clogging up your ears, messing up your learning, you know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. So, you can already start writing this down, but on your first blank for polynomial, there are 3 things that you got to know about a polynomial. Unless you're taking a test, you can do that later, okay? You didn't do that, did you? Please, you can erase that. So, what is a polynomial? Everyone's writing this down on this part. Write down, it's a function with 1 or more terms. So, under polynomial, sorry if I'm in your way for a second. So everyone's writing this down, a function with 1 or more terms. So like our example over here, 3 terms. The exponents have to be positive whole numbers. We're going to come back to that when we get to the backside. Coefficients and constants are real numbers. Okay? Real numbers. Make sure you draw the, or write out the example off to the right as well. We'll give you all a couple minutes. All right, does everyone have the first definition and example written down? Don't forget the example off to the right side. Okay. So y'all know what polynomials look like? All right, next one. We good? Next one is these two. So you need to know what standard form is. Standard form is in what order? It's in descending order. What does descending mean? Going down. So you start with the highest power, you go to the lowest power, right? From the highest to the lowest. So if it's not in order, you got to put it in order. So, please. So, does everyone see how this is descending? We have a 3, then a 2, then a 1, and then a none. Highest to lowest. Today we're going to see some of them that are out of order, and you got to put them in order from highest to lowest. Okay? Factored form. Okay? Polynomial is a product of multiple factors. Here are factors. They're in parentheses. You write them out like that. That's what it looks like. We good on this? Okay, give me a minute. So, headphones. Now, next one. Okay, let's write these down. Degree, it's the value of the largest exponent. Okay? The largest exponent. Now, you can barely see it here, but does everyone see the largest exponent is 7 on that example? We call this a degree 7, or a 7th degree polynomial. Okay? And the leading coefficient is the coefficient of the term of the coefficient of the highest degree. So the highest degree is 7, so the leading coefficient is 4. Okay? It's the big number in front of your highest power. Okay? So get those two down. All right, here we go. So we're on to the next one. So I know the examples were the exact same, but the degree is the highest degree is 7. The leading coefficient is 4. You got to see the difference on those. Okay, and I think there's maybe 2 more. All right. Last 2 on this page. Polynomial's name is the highest degree. Okay. So again, 7th degree is its name. And then classifying, you can classify by the number of terms. Terms are separated by plus and minus. Okay. The plus/minus sign. So how many terms are over here? Here's a term, here's a term, here's a term. I want everyone to see the plus signs or the minus signs can separate, and this is how many terms? 4 terms. Sometimes terms have plus and minus. Sometimes terms have numbers and letters and exponents, okay? But they're separated by plus and minus. So this is 4 separate terms on this one. So as we're finishing up on the back, when you flip it over, we're going to start figuring each of these out based on these definitions we just did. All right. You good? So next page on the back. Now, it might be kind of hard to see on the front board, but you have it on your paper, right? So take a look at your paper. First, we're going to answer, are these polynomials or not? Because if it's not, we don't have to do the rest of it. Now, remind me, from the very first thing, what do we know about the exponents of a polynomial? They have to be what? Positive whole numbers. So let's do that. On number 1, if there's no exponent, if there's no x, that's still a 0 power. That's not negative, and it's not a decimal or a fraction, so that's yes. Okay. So even if it's just a number, that's still a polynomial. It's just one term. What about number 2? Power 1, power 3, no power, power 4. Those are all positive powers, right? And none of them are decimals, so yes, it's a polynomial. Okay, what about 3? 3's no, why not? Can everyone circle that bad power? You cannot have a 0.5 power for a polynomial. Put no, and okay. We're not going to do the rest of it if it's not a polynomial. It's got to be a polynomial, first of all. Okay. What about number 3? Keep going. On number 3, is that a polynomial? So the power 2, power 1, all the powers are fine. So some people might look at this square root of 2 and think, can we have a square root? Well, let me tell you. Your constants have to be real numbers, and square roots are real, okay? Technically. They're irrational, but they are real. So it's actually yes. Oops. So put yes here. Technically it is. Number 5, is that a polynomial? I have a 3 power, and then what's that? Can I have a negative power? No, you cannot have a negative power for a polynomial. Yes, no. Number 6, is that a polynomial? Yeah, x to the 1 power is fine. What about 7? 2 power, 4 power, 1 power, no power, that's yes. None of them are negative, none of them are decimal powers. What about number 8? Does everyone see number 8 has a negative 3 power? No, no, no. You cannot have a negative power for a polynomial. Okay? Only positive whole numbers. Okay? Now, for the rest of these, we can answer these questions. Standard form. Now, you tell me, because we did this. Standard form means what do we do with all of our powers? They need to be in what order? Descending. They need, and by the way, if you look at these, some of these are not in the right order, so you're just going to have to put them in order. That's it, okay? But number 1 has, how many terms is that? 1 term. So you can't put it in any other order. That's it. So it's actually done. Y equals negative 3. Now, think with me carefully. If there is no x, what is the power of that? What? 0. If your x is missing, that's a 0 power x. So this is the degree 0. Okay? 0 degree. If 0 is your only power, that's your highest power. 0. Okay? Last but not least, last 2, classify it. How many terms did we say we have? That's 1 term. I know it says negative 3, but that's 1 term. So 1 term, and the leading coefficient. Now, if there's only 1 term, there's only 1 coefficient. What's that number? Negative 3, okay? So usually it's the number in front of the highest power, but we'll see that on number 2. Now, number 2, is this in descending power order? So I have a 1 power, a 3 power, a no power, a 4 power. Those are, well, is that in order from highest to lowest? 1304. We need to reorder that to put the highest power first. Now, please write small when you do this because, unfortunately, there's not enough room. Which power is the greatest? So does everyone agree that this minus x to the fourth is the highest term? Okay? Everyone with me? If your eyes are closed on your desk and your phone's in your hand, man, wake up. Wake up. All right, here we go. So the biggest term, the biggest degree, goes first. Please write small. Negative x to the fourth. I coughed, so I thought you would say something. Now, what's the next highest power? Oh, can you... We got people that are taking tests that are kind of going slower than they should be going. So, now what's the next highest power? The 1, the 3, or the none? The 3. So we're going to write this next. Plus 3/4 x to the third power. Okay, what's the next biggest power? The x to the 1 or the no power? To the 1 power. So the plus 2x. And your last term is always a constant if you have it, and we do. Minus 8. Okay? I know it's small. You got to fit it in there. It is what it is. But our powers are highest to lowest. Fourth power, third power, first power, no power. So what degree is this? What degree is this? What's that highest power right here? 4. Prove it by taking it out. No. Just prove it by taking it out because it won't matter. It just won't even matter. Oh, so it matters now for some reason, huh? Oh, why did you take it out? Can you please? Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Now, highest degree is 4, right? Highest power? So that's a 4th degree. Polynomial. And classifying it by how many terms there are. How many terms do we have here separated by plus and minus? 4 terms. Now, I know there's a lot of different things going on in each term, but there's 4 terms. Now, real quick, leading coefficient. Look over here. This very first coefficient is a negative sign. What is implied? What number goes right there in front of x? 1. So negative 1 is my leading coefficient. Guess what most people put? They want to put 2 from way over here. No, you first put it in order, and then tell me what's the first coefficient. Let's put 4 in standard form. What's the highest power here? The second power. So negative, let's write this small. Negative 7x squared. What's the next biggest power? The 1 power. So plus 3x. And then my last term is minus square root of 2. All right, what is the degree? What's the highest power you see there? Everyone else, y'all see the highest degree is 2? Okay, so don't talk about 7, that's a coefficient, but degrees is 2. Second degree is the name of that polynomial. How many terms do you see here? Separated by plus and minus. What do you think? How many terms? Okay, so 3 terms. And what's the leading coefficient here? Out in the front. Okay, we reordered it where so this is now in front right here, which is -7. -7 is in front of the highest power. The highest power is 2, right? So -7x squared, the -7 is the leading coefficient, okay? Oh, you got me. Now, this is like number 1. It's already in standard form. What is the highest power here? If there's no power, what power goes here? Not 0. If there's no x, that's a 0 power. But if there's a just x, that's a 1 power. So that's a first degree polynomial. How many terms is that? It's actually 1 term. There's no plus or minus, right? 1 term, and what's that leading coefficient in front? 2. Last but not least, I'll do this one a little quicker. The highest power is x to the 4th. Okay, minus x squared plus 9x plus 1. What is that highest degree? 4. So it's a 4th degree. And how many terms is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. And the leading coefficient, if there's no number there, what's implied in front of that? 1 is my leading coefficient. Now, I want y'all to do the bottom 4 the way we did the warm-up. Can you replace a number, x, with a number, okay? And Mrs. Murrow might take over from here so I can do that thing. Right, Miss Murrow? All right. Now I'm going to get us started on this. I'm going to freeze this on the side for those of you who need it in the future. You can move and get it, take a picture of it in a minute, okay? All right. I hear a lot of complaining. That's weird. So, on number 9, it says f of -2. I'm going to rewrite this. -3, -2 to the 4th power, plus -2 to the 3rd power, minus 5, -2 squared, plus 1. I know I'm kind of spilling over into the next line. Could you type that in the calculator and get your answer? No. Let's try it, okay? -3, parentheses, -2 to the 4th power, caret 4. Plus, parentheses, -2 to the power of 3. Wait a minute. Dang it. Go down, then press plus. Go to the right. Plus, oh, no, that's minus. 5 to the times -2 squared. Go to the right. And then plus 1. So if you can type that in correctly, you should get -75. I want you to try the next 3 on your own. Miss Marrero can help you out. All right.